Okay, for warm-up 919, I'm going to have you copy all of this work best you can, even the tables and the words, and then the work and the words to show me that you listen. First word right away is turtle. Turtle is the first word to write down, random word. All right, so here we go. We're doing ratios, but they're going to have you look at different ways of showing that answer. So this one is saying grape juice boxes. The number of grape, which I have right here, is 5. 5 grape juices compared to, and I could use the word to, or for this problem, I could use these little colon marks to represent 2. I could also use a fraction. To total number. So total number, I need to add up all 3 of these to get my total number. So I got my 5 plus that 4 plus that 11 gives me the final ratio of 5 to 20. The problem is the answers they give me do not have 5 to 20 down there at the bottom. So there's one way you could do this. You could crank it out on your calculator. You could find everyone's value. Again, know how to find value. Know how to take that first number and divide it by that second number on your calculator. You could do that for each one of these. Find their value and then find the one that has the same value as 5 to 20. So this one has a value of 0.333 repeating. No good. If I divide 1 divided by 5, this one gives me a value of 0.2. That's no good. If I do 1 divided by 4, though, that gives me a value of 0.25. If I do 5 divided by 20, if I get the same value, that means those are equivalent. Oh, there it is, 0.25. So that's one way of doing it. Using your calculator to divide them all out, find your values, and find the one value that matches up that one, 0.25. That's the 1 to 4. These other ones are not equivalent. Another way you could do that is take that 5 to 20 and realize the ratio 1 to 4 is equivalent, because if I divide those numbers down, like if I divide this by 5 and divide this same 20 by 5, divide by that same number, it gives me 1 to 4. It gives me the same exact numbers. None of those other ones will divide like that to give you the same ratio. All right, second word is shark. Shark. All right, next problem. If I look at this one, it's having you find the ratio of nonfiction to science fiction. So nonfiction, looking at this table, to science fiction, knowing my answers are a little bit different than what they're showing. So if I look at that nonfiction, that is 40. The way these are written is using the word to, 42, and then I look at science fiction, looks like 50. And again, for these, you could divide them all out. You could divide 40 divided by 50 and see what that value is, which is 0.8. You could divide out the other ones and see what their values are. 3 divided by 5 gives me 0.6. That's no good. 4 divided by 5, there it is. 4 divided by 5 gives me 0.8. So that one I could see right away. That one is equivalent, 4 to 5. None of these other ones have the same value if I divide them. 2 divided by 5, that has a value of 0.4. 4 divided by 2 has a value of 2. So I could see none of these had the same value, only 4 to 5. And again, another way to do that is take that 4 to 5 and realize again what I'm doing. Looks like I'm dividing by 10, dividing by that same number. If I divide both top and bottom by that same number, I get what are called equivalent ratios. Different numbers, but same exact ratios. And then, of course, no, I could write these as fractions. That's 40 to 50, and that's equivalent to 4 to 5. When you write it as fractions, a little bit easier to kind of see the math that you're doing, dividing both top and bottom by 10. That makes that equivalent. All right, next word is pelican. Pelican. All right, what we're looking at today, big stuff today, is unit rates, finding the value. It's all about the value, and then comparing. So here we go. This says store A. Store A charges $14 for 5 notebooks. So again, what you write first, that's listed first. $14. It's going to be a unit rate written as a fraction to 5 notebooks. What I do to find the unit rate, because again, unit rate lets me compare stuff easier. 14 divided by 5 gives me 2.8, but I don't just leave that as $2.8 for every 1 notebook. That's what that ratio is. Of course, you could write that as $2.80 per notebook. That's another way you could write that. But we're going to write that as a fraction, $2.80 for every 1 notebook. When you get the value of these fractions, no matter what, you put that over 1. And again, I got that value by dividing 14, the top number, divided by 5. My calculator spits out 2.8. That's where I got that value. If I do store B, same thing, same order, $10 first, divided by 6 notebooks. To find the value, you divide the top number divided by the bottom number. 10 divided by 6 gives me 1.6 with a bar over it, but that is dollars for every 1 notebook. That's what that value really is. It's $1.60 about for every 1 notebook. And then they want you to compare which one has the lower price. Which one, if you're trying to save money for the same notebook, would you want to go to? And you can see right here, choice B has a lower price per notebook. That's the one they want you to recognize. The other one, $2.80 for every 1 notebook. You're paying more for 1 notebook. All right, last problem, last 2 words. Second to last word is wave. Wave. One more word coming. Okay, so back to last kind of equivalent, giving you something that's already distributed and looking at choices, seeing which of those is equivalent. So if I look at this guy right here and times 12 by x and 12 times that 36, that would really give me 432. That is not equivalent. If I look at this bottom one here, timesing all the way through, that gives me 12x plus 36. I could see that one is equivalent. If I look at this guy and distribute it, that gives me 12x plus 36. That is also equivalent. If I look at this last one though, if I distribute that, that gives me 12x squared plus 36x. That is not equivalent. So only those 2 in the middle. Last word is surf. Surf. All right. Talk to you shortly. If you got time, check those grades. Good luck.